Able TV, where we inspire and inform you endlessly, with knowledge to guide, uplift and grow. Thank you for joining, it's a journey, let's go. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. From wisdom to insight, each video's a gift, helping you rise, giving your spirit a lift. So hit that subscribe, stay tuned to see all the great things on Dr. Bunmi Abel TV. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. Dr. Bunmi Abel TV here for you. Inspire, educate, inform. That's what we do. Thanks for being part of this growing family. Let's keep shining together in unity.
Hello, 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 and hello again. Hello again. You are welcome. Thank you for joining us. I can see people waiting already. Thank you, because you're here to learn just like I am. We're all here to learn together from a very special guest we have. I'll be introducing him very briefly, but he will introduce himself by himself. So, my name is Bunmi Abel, and you're welcome to Dr. Bunmi Abel TV. I'm glad you have been able to join us today. If you've ever wondered about buying property while living abroad, or you're just confused about mortgage processes back home or where you live now, this conversation is actually for you. Today, we are joined by a remarkable guest, Mr. Deji Emmanuel, a seasoned financial advisor and IT professional with years of experience helping clients navigate the complexities of mortgages and financial planning, especially for those who are in diaspora. So we'll be discussing the must-know steps, the challenges, the solutions when it comes to securing mortgages as a diasporan. Most of us have been there. Some are just jackpot and they're like, I'm paying too much on rent. Is there any other way? Whether you're looking to invest in the UK or anywhere else, this is your time to learn. So I'm sure the practical and insightful, empowering steps you'll be shared with today would not just be within the diaspora. I'm sure it's something you can also use everywhere else. So let's learn today from Dr. Deji. If there's anyone you think should be here and is not here yet, please go and grab them wherever they are. Sit back and relax and let us take it in. Make sure you have a notebook with you where you can write. And if you've got questions, this is your time to ask the questions. His details will be revealed at the end of the session so that you can also contact him privately if you need more answers to your questions. So I introduce today to you Mr. Deji Emmanuel, the financial advisor and an IT pro. So you are welcome, Mr. Deji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abel. Thank you so much for having me on this channel. It's really an honor, to be honest, to be able to be here and also to share my knowledge as well. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. I can see the slides are here, so I will just share this. Yes. And before we start asking the questions, I would like you to please introduce yourself, if you may.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah, I've kind of I started my career from IT, so you expect to see slides anyway. So which I've kind of put there in that particular slide. I started my career as an IT professional, right? So I work in IT space anyway in financial industry. So with the likes of Rabobank, European Bank on Construction and Development, and I had the opportunity to have worked with one bank, but which I did not go. It's a different thing anyway. So, but all in financial space anyway. So then also I've been opportune also to actually found an organization called Blue Sky. Blue Sky is a IT empowerment program that we help one another, I would say, into IT space. By the grace of God, I've helped hundreds of people into IT space, right? And since 2008, right? And yeah, maybe I should also share quickly that when I speak to people I mentor, some of them have got maybe 5 years experience right now, or even 7 or 10 years experience in IT. And I speak to them and say, "Oh, you've been working 5 years since 5 years ago. What have you done with the money?" Right?
Mm.
It will be like one story over the other because UK, right? I apologize to use this word, is terrible. You will earn money and you will spend it.
Yeah.
As you are getting the money, you are spending it. At the end of the year, you look at how much has gone through your hand. In fact, you will do like we do in Nigeria. Ah, and so because of that, I tend to now mentor them. But it's not something that I could do, right? Because there's regulated space, right?
Yeah.
I had to do trainings and also certification. I went back to school. I went to do diploma in financial advisory. I went to London Institute of Banking and Finance,
Mm.
and yeah, for the last 2 years. Then after that, so now I'm a qualified mortgage broker and also uh, protection advisor. So I'm able to do this within the remit of FCA. So that's me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that introduction. I know there's so much to put there. And if you may know, he's an award-winning um IT professional. So he knows his onions. I don't want to blow his trumpet. I'm sure along the way he will tell us some of
Not only onions, I know my beans as well.
and the palm oil to add to it
Exactly.
and the spices. All right. So he's very vast, I tell you. And like you've heard from the testimonial, he's helped a lot of people. And that's kudos to you. Thank you very much for impacting your world. Now we are gonna start with the questions. I know we have very limited time. But I will start off. I'll put the questions on the screen as we have it. So the first one is, why is it important for Nigerians or even Africans or people outside the UK to start thinking about owning property, especially now?
Yeah, one thing that when people talk about property, we look at it as a big thing, right? In fact, it's one of the biggest decisions that one can make in their life, right? So, and it's a very, very popular discussion. Why do I need to own my property, right? And with rent rising, actually, so and the question is like, what do you need? Why do I need the properties anyway? One thing that I can tell you is like, I don't want to pay someone else's mortgage. That is the first thing, right?
Mhm.
Because if you are renting, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage anyway. So, and yeah, thinking about owning your house or your property, right? You then lock yourself in stability, right? You are not thinking that someone is kicking you out of your property and you are building generational wealth for yourself and you are also growing as well. So there are a lot of support, even the government and also people provide for that anyway. So yeah, the reason is that majorly people think is a big thing. They got
Mhm.
challenged. And in fact, there are a lot of challenges that you have to cross anyway, but it's achievable anyway. Right. If you don't mind, Dr. Abel, I've got something prepared before the question so that we take
Okay.
10 minutes to lay the ground for
Okay.
that. If that's fine, then
All
we can
right.
take the questions if that's okay. Right.
Okay.
Okay, if you can move to the next slide, it's okay because then we'll lay the ground for any other questions that you already have anyway. So next one. So now mortgage. So when people talk about mortgage, right, it's a big word for some people. You say mortgage, right, and then you look at it and say, no, I'm not stepping into it. And in fact, some people say you mortgage your life is a big thing. So before they made that decision, they analyze before it kind of becoming a paralysis anyway. So, but mortgage is just a loan. Right? It's a loan. But of course, like every loan, if you don't repay back, right, you will be liable, right? In fact, every mortgage, you say your house can be repossessed if you don't pay your repayment, right? So that's why we need to know that, yeah, one, don't overthink about mortgage. Mortgage is another loan, right? But of course, is a loan that you use to buy a house. Let's move to the next slide, please. So the next thing that people ask me as a mortgage broker is like, can I get a mortgage without any deposit? The answer is a fat yes, right? You can ask right now, you can get even, but of course there's a caveat. Okay, you're in the UK, you are British, you got indefinite leave to remain. You can actually get a mortgage without having to put any deposit down. But as well, let me also add, even you can also get as little as 5% or 10% deposit anyway. Let's move to the next one. I know there might be questions around that anyway. So now it will be, what are the steps, right? Because I know these are questions that people might not think about, right? If I want to get a mortgage now, what do I need to do? I'll tell people the first thing, like you said um, uh, in medical, know your status, right? The first thing in mortgage is know your credit score, know where you stand. Are you in excellence? Are you in good or in poor? Know how to also mitigate that as well. So, and also improve that as well. So then the next one is like, you need to be on the electoral register. That also improve your mortgage scores as well. I've seen people, they've lived in a place for many years, but they don't know anything about electoral register. So if you don't know, ChatGPT it, Google it, right, and put let your ensure that your name is there. Even if you're not looking for mortgage, it's a good thing for you to register on electoral register, and also review your income and your debt. Don't be in too much debt. Don't be, because some people will have a lot of income, but they are in too much debt to be able to cater for that. So, and to be honest, UK is terrible in that aspect. Every letter they will send it to you. You can take this credit card and you can do this. And some people will say, "Oh, I want to increase my credit score." Because of that, they put themselves in on that particular credit. Right? They don't need it. They are just putting credit upon credit, and eventually you go to the market. It just, I have a mentor that say, I'm not going to be using my card again because anytime I go to the shop, ping, you don't even know money is going. So he said, I'm going to use cash because sometimes for you to bring £20 and pay it, you know that money is going out. But with contactless, you just pim, 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 everything is going. So now also, when you are going for mortgage, determine your budget as well. That is another thing also. So the next one is like speed up the process. Some people start looking for mortgage and they don't know the steps actually. So even before you start to look for the house, right, get pre-approved, speak to a mortgage broker, a financial advisor, know how much the banks or the lender can give to you. If that you looking for a property of 500,000 when you can only get 200,000, you've just lost it. The first thing here, look for a qualified financial advisor that can actually tell you how much you can actually get. Then also, yeah, they give you something we call agreement in principle, right? This is a document that the lender in principle will agree that they can lend you this particular amount of money. Then after that, you go around and shop for the property that you want based on the amount the lender already agreed to give to you. Let's go to the next slide, please. Then after that, so you find your dream home, right? Locate it. So this, I tell people that this can take months for you to decide to even get there. So you search for the property. Then after that, the mortgage broker would actually then apply on your behalf, and then you get your loan approved. Then let's go to the next one so that I can finish this quickly. So then after that, you get they get this loan underwritten by the lenders actually, and after, yeah, then you sign the document, boom, that is you getting your keys to your property. So let's go to the next one. So that is the process. This now just summarizes everything for you, right? What you need to have for you to have a smooth process in this approach. The first one, get a stable job. I tell people, right, as a tip, right, if you are looking for mortgage, right, and it's not the time for you to be jumping to another jobs, right? Most lenders will prefer you to have a stable job, at least 3 months or 6 months in that particular job, right? Not like, oh, I'm looking for a mortgage now. I've just moved jobs yesterday. Right. You're going to struggle to get a better rate. It's not that it's not possible. You will get from lenders that can be able to lend to you on a like one day you're starting the job. But I would say that if you are looking for a job, get a stable income, right? So then after that, avoid taking any new debt, right? I'm looking for loan. I'm still going to take another debt here, or I'm opening another account. That's not the time to start opening another account, because then it goes into your credit. It's a flag to say, oh, what is happening? Are you in distress or something like that? So then also save up, right? Even though there is 0% deposit that you can get actually. So of course, you can also try to get 5%, 10%, even if you want to do 10%. The more deposit that you have, the flexible rate that you can give to, and it's the rate will also be improved as well. So, and also, I can't overemphasize that, get a trusted mortgage professional early enough, right? And yeah, and also start your journey early. Don't say, I'm going to buy a property next week or next month, and then you are starting now. Buying a property is not good. It's not like going to Tesco. You can't go and pick a property in Tesco, right? It takes time. And I'll say averagely, you take like within 3 months and 6 months for you to finish that transaction, right? Someone will come to you and say, oh, we need the property in there's 2 months. Unless you want to do a remortgage, on average, we'll talk about even the minimum will be around 3 months actually before you get the property, and also before the mortgage is approved, solicitors and everything. It takes a while. Anyway, let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It's coming up. So now this is now speaking to the people that have got their property already, and you are thinking, what is the next for me, right? And do I want to now become a landlord myself, right? There's another thing that's called buy to let mortgage. So it's now you buying to be able to let, right? That's a big discussion, right? So what, and I'll give you information or what you need to do and what are the concepts, but what you do with the information is your prerogative. Okay, this is just educational part, though, so that we can actually educate one another. The next slide, right? So now, for you to secure a mortgage, for you to secure a buy to let, there are different ways that you need to do, different things that you need to consider, right? So, and for one of those ones, I would say now, of course, speak to a broker, right? After that, you also need to know that, check if you are eligible, right? Save the deposit and find the property. It's the same way. Get a mortgage in principle, research the market, because it's now you have to now look at it, because it's different from you buying your house. Because at this time, buy to let, there's no I've seen people right now. Let me actually speak to people in diaspora. This is investment. You need to remove sentiment. I've seen people that say, I want to invest in Nigeria because of sentiment, right? If you want to live there, that's fine. But if you're talking about investment, right, you don't put sentiment in that. You don't say, okay, because it's close to my house, I want to invest in that. So this is basically, you need to research it properly. And the next thing also, then apply for the mortgage, get your valuation done, and offer is done. Let's go to the next slide, please. So now there are different strategies that you can use, right? Next slide. Okay, yeah. So next slide, there are different strategies that you can use. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, thank you. So now I'm going to talk about these strategies for people that were actually thinking, yeah, I've got my own property. I'm thinking of, yeah, being a landlord to myself, right? There's some people that say, okay, start low cost, right? Buy a small property that you can actually refurbish, whether you want to let it out or you want to own it, that's a different thing, right? Or you want to have a single let traditional buy to let, or you want to have like what they call HMO. HMO is when you have more than one families, maybe two families or thereabout living in that property, right? So they don't know each other. So you want to bring them together and they are sharing in that property. So, or you want to actually have a short term let anyway, or yeah, that you can look into that. Then also you look at, why are you investing in property? Is it because of capital growth, right? Or you want to grow a portfolio, right? Or you want to do rent to rent. You want to rent so that you can be able to rent. And there are different schemes that people look into, right? So you just need to look at which strategy is best for you. Actually, you need to look into that. Let's go to the next slide quickly, please. Yeah. So no matter the strategy that you choose, you need to consider three things, right? So because I've seen people, next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, yeah, thank you. So you need to consider, no, I think you passed anyway. So I'm going to go through that quickly. So no matter these circumstances you find yourself, you need to consider three things. One, budget, time, and income, right? I've seen people saying, hey, I want to flip, blah, blah, blah. And they want to flip indeed, but they don't have time, right? They eventually don't want to become you don't want to become a project manager, but you want to do flipping, right? It's you are actually missing completely. So you need to also know that. Also, you need to know the amount of money that you have and the income that you want to spend anyway. So, and another thing also in terms of income, what is that budget that you have? If you have under 50,000, where do you want to put it? Well, do you want to look at low cost properties? So properties like I live in London, you might also want to look at up north, right, for those properties or that thereabout. If you also have property between 50 to 100, then you can start looking into maybe single let or HMO or something like that. That's another thing. Or if you have even over 150, you want to look into, yeah, maybe now you are talking about or portfolio, right? You want to buy two or three, you want to only put 50,000 deposit on each one of them so that you can buy two or three. So you need to look into that. Let's move to the next one quickly, if that's okay. So now, this is where I will stop because I think I still have more on the slide. So, and people now talk about, do I need to buy individually? Do I need to buy as an SPV? What's an SPV? Technically, SPV is just like a company that you use, right? So now, if you buy as an individual, what are the pros? So it's so simple. You set yourself up, so you don't need to form a company. In fact, you might need a lower upfront cost actually, and it's even cheaper for you as a person. So that is one. Yeah, it's great if you are only buying one or two, or you are starting afresh. That's one thing that you can look into. So let's move to the next one. So then, what's the con and its advantage? Means that yeah, eventually you might have to be paying interest. Yeah, there's no mortgage interest rate relief that a company will have, but you would have to pay that anyway. You have to do self-assessment, you get that anyway. So, and also, yeah, your rental profit might also be added to your income, and which means that it might push you to another tax bracket, and you are not limited in terms of liability as well. So anything happens is individual, you have to bear the brunt anyway. So let's move to the next one quickly. So yeah, so for buy to let, yeah, what is for individual is best for you if you are small. You are a small landlord, you want to start afresh, you just want to have a basic life, and also you are a low, let's say basic taxpayer, not like you already are higher taxpayer, is going to kind of add it to your income as well. Then you have to pay more tax anyway. So that is one. So then let's move into the SPV, which I call the company buy to let. For SPV, the pro is like you have full mortgage interest rate relief. It means that for the interest that you are paying on your mortgages, they will be deducted from the expenses of the company. And also, yeah, currently the corporation tax is 25%, and also so but for usually lower than the personal tax gain anyway. So, and also it's easier for you to scale up as to become a portfolio landlord, and you have limited liability because you're a company and you can distribute your profits flexibly anyway. Another thing, to be honest, even this is not a tax advice anyway, so it's easy for you to kind of now your children, when they grow up, to become a director of the company and everything. So that's another thing that you can look into. So then the last one, right? So the disadvantage of that, you would have extra admin, accounting costs and everything. So you might also not be able to get a cheaper mortgage rate as well anyway for that. And also, double taxation. You will be taxed as a person, you'll be also taxed as a company. That's another thing. So sometimes you might also be harder for you to get a mortgage if you don't have experience or if you don't have the right advice as well. So, and if you are a tax higher rate, so that's another thing that you need to look into. So, and what the next slide, which is the last slide anyway, so it's best for people that you are higher rate, you just want to hide under that. Your expenses is pushed into that SPV, and also you're a portfolio landlord, or you have a long-term plan to become a property investor. So that's one thing. So as a diaspora, you need to decide where you want to be, right? You need to decide how you want to push that. Do you want to buy your own first property, or do you want to move to become a property portfolio investor? So I think it's left for you to decide.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abel. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You can imagine there's so much, so much, so much to ask. There's so many questions, and the good thing is he is here to answer some of the questions, and he will be giving us his number to for those who want to contact him, because there's so much. I can tell you, if he has to write a book on this, it's going to be volumes. So what he has just kind of what Yorubas will call relori relori. Has just cut the edges for you, just as a form of awareness. So thank you very much for this time. And I know you're very super busy, but you have still given us this time to ask you questions. So if you have any questions, please type in the chat. Thank you for those who are watching, who are still tuned in up till now. Please share this. It's going to be rewatchable on the same link. On this same link, you can send to people, let them rewatch, let them make decisions that will affect their generation, even their lives and the lives of their children. So please forward to those who need it. Now, the questions, we'll go through them very quickly. I can see the time is running so quickly. Why is it important for Nigerians in the UK to start thinking about owning property, especially now, when
Okay.
there is so much economic meltdown, there's so many things happening everywhere in the world? Why is it important?
Okay. All right. Thank you. Like I said before, right? There's no better time than now. Like the Bible said, if you count, this cost, you won't do anything anyway.
Yes.
That you look at. Oh, I used to tell my children that if you look at the fact that there is lion outside, you won't go outside, right? So there's always going to be meltdown. There's always going to be inflation rate anyway. So whatever you do, right, decide on that anyway. The one thing I tell people is like, don't rent too long. I've told some of my friends, I said to them, you are renting now. Don't live here, right? And go and rent again. I think it's how our mind process things anyway. So once you are already have it in your conscious mind, you start working towards that. Everything is possible for him that believes. That's what the Bible says. So yeah, so I think it's the right time if you are renting, right? Or even if you already have one before, right? I've seen people, right? This is another thing I tell people. You have a property right now, and the property is 500,000, and you have equity of 300,000 on that property. Do you know that every time that you wake up and you sleep and you wake up, you are sleeping on 300,000? Is that what you want? But that 300,000 can actually do something for you, right? By you investing it, right, into something. Yeah. Make use of the resources that God has given unto you. Yeah. So, yeah. And I tell people, it's basically make a while the sun shines. I'll tell you my story, right? 2005, I came into the UK, right? I did an MSc in Edinburgh Uni, and I finished 2007, right? And then 3 months down the line, I think before I finished, I got a professional job, right? So then 3 months after I got a professional job, I got my first property, right? While my friends were buying cars and everything, I got a property, right? And then after that, we then got other properties there and there. I'm also like a portfolio investor. But now my friend would tell me and say, Deji, how did you do it? And I say it's basically make a while the sun shines, right? Because at the point, IT was booming. We are getting this contract here and there. But everyone agrees that it's not the same thing right now anyway. So, but if you don't make use of that opportunity right now, you don't even know when it's going to happen. There's time that you want to do something that even though you want to do it, your body cannot do it again because of age, right? So if you can't do it right now, just do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. There's a question here. Somebody's just thank you very much to okay. Yeah. Thank you very much to Mr. Sunny Musa Opute says thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your time. And there's a question from Mr. Adefela Arowofela. It says, which is better for a first timer, freehold and leasehold property ownership?
That is a big question, to be honest. So, and if I want to just close my eye, I will say freehold it is, right? But I will tell you why, right? For a leasehold, there's other charges that you have to pay. For a first timer, right? If you are a first time buyer, right? You want to minimize your cost, right?
Mm.
You don't want to pay service charge, you don't want to pay ground rent and everything. You just want to, yeah, yeah. I would say if you have options of choosing one over the other, I will go for freehold. Another thing also, freehold, you have to renew. Maybe it might be 999 years. Do you get it? But it's not anyway. So another thing about freehold, right? Freehold sometimes depreciate in value, right? As you go down to the term, it goes down as well, unless you renew anyway. But sorry, leasehold actually, if I leasehold would depreciate in that value because as the term is reducing, you have to renew for it to appreciate again. But
Yeah.
that is for freehold, that you don't have that anyway. But one thing that will favor the leasehold is the fact that because it's depreciating as then it's easy for you to get a cheaper freehold property, right? It's like saying I'm getting a cheaper property and you want it to be appreciating more. If it's already appreciated, you won't get it at that cheaper rate. That's the thing. So, but if you want growth equity, right, I'll go for freehold, right? And if you want cost, it's another cost, I'll go for freehold. But if you are looking to start small, I would say for my first property was a freehold, right? I'm not ashamed to say it was actually 120 in Edinburgh, 120 pound in Edinburgh. So 120,000. That was 2007, right? Then the
Mm.
next one was 160, actually. That was a freehold, actually. But even though the freehold is around that 300 something thousand right now after many years, the even the leasehold is also appreciated as well. Even the freehold did not appreciate because of the location as well. Do you
Mm.
get it now? So sometimes it's not only whether it's freehold or leasehold. You also need to look at your strategy. That's why I explained that before. So you need to look into that. Are you looking at equity? Are you looking at um, rent as well? If you are only first time buyer and you are in London, right? Freehold can appreciate quicker than no leasehold can appreciate quicker than if you are, let's say you are up north, right? So you need to decide anyway, but you need to look at the cost and yeah,
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I know it also depends on the location
yeah.
of if you're getting a house where there's no school or no supermarket, no, it's of course going to be cheaper than where if you're near schools or near university or near all of these amenities. So thank you very much for that. Next question is, what are the biggest challenges Nigerians in the UK face when trying to get a mortgage? I know you've mentioned a few of them. Some people change jobs like as if they're changing clothes. Some
Exactly.
people just, they have no plan, they have no information, they just go into it blindly. But, what are those common ones you've heard people talk?
And for me, I would say the big elephant is ourselves. It's fear, right?
Mm,
It is fear of the unknown, right? I would share a testimony with you as well. So, 2005, when I came into the UK, I happened to live in a flat and we are all students. And I know someone was saying, I would never buy a property in the UK. Who knows? Like, I've not, the person is back in Nigeria anyway. But sometimes, maybe one way or the other, that might also work against him. Why was he saying so? Right? Because at that point in a flat, you see, yeah, this is not working, this is not working. You have to call the landlord, and you get now. Then everyone gets scared that what's going to happen if I buy my property? Am I going to be a plumber at the same time? I'm going to be this and that. One thing I tell people is that the way you handle other people's property the
mm.
same way you handle yours.
Oh,
So
yes.
if you want to become a landlord or you want to also have your own property and you are renting now, try to take care of other people's property. Then
Mm-hmm.
give you actually removes the fear as well. Do you get it now? And another thing is lack of information. And that's I appreciate this forum, right? So because one way or the other, I will tell you, even in the IT space, that we have people who talk about other races, right? And which I don't want to mention. They say they help themselves to get into roles, they help themselves to do this, but we see our black minority people, they hold information. I'm riding a Land Cruiser. I don't want my friend to write the same thing. I'm holding that information. My wife said something. He said, a candle loses nothing by lighting on that candle, right? So we all those information, we don't share, right? In 90, I've been able to break that barrier, sharing information, helping people get jobs. And I want to do the same thing in financial space as well, sharing the information as many people that care to listen. And I can tell you something, some people just tell you one information and that is it, settles it, right? And I can tell you, one of my mentors in 2005, when I came to the UK, I did 2 years MSc. The guy told me, I said, Deji, you had 2 years MSc, 2 years grow quickly go like that, start looking for job now. Even if you know that in the next 2 years is when you are eligible to work. And to be honest, that information changes my life. It's just information. Do you get it now?
Yes.
I start to apply early. When my friends are applying for menial jobs, I was applying for professional jobs. I got rejection tire, to be honest. It was like, yeah, I've become a rejection myself. But it got me prepared. Like immediately I finished like this, right? I got the job because every rejection was a feedback for me. Do you get it now? So
Yes.
information is very, very key. And also credit issues. Don't do more than what you can bear. Some of us just pile everything and pile everything. We don't even know. Right now, it's like going to get your blood test done. Get yourself checked. Go and get your credit score. Some people don't even know if you don't know what that is, Google it. Credit score, right? Know where you stand, right? And please let me tell you something. If you get your credit score and they say go and you need to get this credit card so that you can improve your score, please don't do it. I don't think it happens. Do you get it now? Don't be in debt because you want to improve your credit score, right? If you want to do it, ensure that you are disciplined enough not to spend the money. Thank you.
In fact, I think that's giving me another idea, because I'm sure people are struggling with how to get a good credit score. Maybe that I'll bring that as another video, ask somewhere, because people think until you get a credit card before you get a good credit score. To be honest with you, we don't do credit card in my house. We don't do. And I'm sure people will be like, how did you do that? There are other simple ways. You don't want to incur debt by getting another debt. So if you know yourself, it's better you don't do some things. But that's another video for another day. So please watch out. We'll talk about that later. The third question, because I know that people who need to be somewhere else, and you are also a very busy person, you need to be somewhere else as well. Third one, can someone on a tier 2 visa or someone who has just got an ILR qualify for a mortgage?
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, that is absolutely yes, right? So it's yes, yeah, you have lenders that accept tier 2 visa, right? So, but of course, you need to be at least 12 months, remaining on that visa, and you need to have a stable income anyway. For indefinitely leave to remain, right? You have more options anyway. In fact, you have some lenders that would even do 0% deposit for you. It opens you for another options as well. So, and yeah, so I would say, yeah, speak to a mortgage broker, know what your states. And to be honest, one thing you need to do when you speak to a mortgage broker, tell all the information. And that is another thing that I did in 2007, right? So, people, financial space, things change quickly. That's another thing. I want to change this narrative now, right? Because some people say that you need to be British before you can get a mortgage, right? And sometimes when 2005, someone told me the same way, but another person said, go to the bank and ask. Do you get it now? What that can happen? Or at that point, there's no even someone like us that is financial advisor that you can all speak to. Do you get it now? So I went there. The first lender said, yeah, you have to be British. You cannot take you, right? So if I take that information and I start to spread it, that is right. You get, because that lender said you need to be British before we can give you a mortgage. I went to another mortgage as well, another lender. They said, no, you have to be 5 years, you have to do this, another. Until when I went to HSBC said, no, come in. We are open now. Doors is open. What is your salary? 22,000. Okay, what are you getting? 150. Okay, all right. What deposit do you have? 5%. They say, okay, but and I said, thank you so much, HSBC. You saved my life. So that is it. Anyway, so you just need to kind of get all this information to get. So thank you.
Perseverance is another thing, because if you had heard from one person, okay, forget it, I will go and buy in my village in Nigeria, where you will never even step into. People will. In fact, that's another video for another day.
That's another one. That's another one. I'm happy to share that one because I always debate that one, right? So
where you're not living, well, you're just sowing for someone else to reap. Well, that's not what the Bible says. I'm supposed to be.
On that note, Dr. Abel, I will tell you something. There's a friend of mine that actually shared this with me. He said that, or say, there's a Yoruba adage prayer that said, "Wakure okodele," and you say Amen.
Yes.
Some of us, we are not going back to that.
Ile.
So which one is Oko? Which one is Ile? So unless you want to take all your profits in the UK, take to Nigeria, you say me. And he told me, said, I'm not seeing email to that prayer again. And I'm reading with him. I said, which one is Makoro Okodele? Is Oko is the UK or Ile is the Nigeria? No. Okay, that's another discussion.
Yeah, in fact, that like you said, that just tune in, watch out, because that one is a big one for me. In fact, before I could actually settle my mind to, I've always let's stick to this. Let's stick to this. It's a very interesting thing. Thank you very much. The next question is, what's the realistic minimum deposit needed to buy a home in the UK today?
Okay, I'll tell you one. Realistically, you need to have 5%, right? If you are not British and you don't have LRI, and to be even if you are British as well, it also depends on your rent, right? So some lenders will look at it and say, okay, what is your rent? They multiply your rent by 150% anyway. But yeah, I would say 5%. In fact, like I said to you right now, 2007, right? 2008 actually, that was it. So it was only 5% I have, and I tell people start small. I've seen instances when people want to get their own first property, they are looking around 600,000 because someone is living in the house for 600,000. Start small, right? Build your credit from that and move up. So if you are only looking for 5% or 10%, that is a realistic deposit. But of course, if you have 50% or 100%, why not anyway? But even the fact that you have 50%, I've seen someone that's got like 50%, it was still difficult for the person to get the mortgage. Right. So, and there are a lot of things in this space that would kind of put into, but if you're talking about only deposit, the only one, it will be 5%. And in fact, maybe another thing they are coming, there's other schemes as well that allows you, the government schemes, right, that would bring other things in anyway, that would even, maybe you would even contribute less than 5%. Or we can talk about that one. It's a bit complex and
Yeah, thank you. So please, if you have more questions, contact this mortgage advisor is here to help you. Another question is, how does someone's credit score affect their ability to get a mortgage, and what can be done about it? Just very briefly, because like I said, we're going to have to do another video on that. How does someone's credit score affect their ability to get a mortgage, and how can this be done, or what can be done about it?
Okay, so one thing I can say, your credit score will affect you because it also actually prove if you are credit worthy or not, right? So that's one thing that you need to look at. Are you really, really credit worthy? Is this something that's what the bank is looking for? That are you credit worthy? Can you actually pay for the mortgage, right? So I would say, it would really, really affect you if you are not careful.
Well, you need to learn how to maintain a good credit score, but we will talk about that in another video. Thank you. Can self-employed Nigerians like Uber drivers, IT contractors, or small business owners also qualify?
So the answer is also yes as well. You can qualify as a self-employed client, right? So, and like I said, if I use myself as a case study, and also some
Mm.
clients that I have as well. Anyway, so I was, yeah, I think
A
I'm also, yeah,
student. Yes,
a
you've
student,
mentioned it.
and I finished. I become unemployed anyway. So then after that, I moved into contracts as well, right?
Mhm.
As a IT contractor, you would, they actually give mortgages as well, and you get some lenders that are very, very good with contractors or even self-employed as well anyway. So but of course, the only thing that they will ask you for your tax return or self-assessment, right? So which you need to provide. Sometimes they will ask 1 or 2 years, but standard will be 2 years self-assessment that you'll be able to. That maybe I should speak to this one. Some people that I'm in the UK, I don't want to pay tax. You are also cheating yourself as well, anyway, because then you are not paying tax, then you cannot get a mortgage. Do you get it now? Maybe this there's a kind of worm, Dr. Abel, in this situation, right? Because some people say, yeah, I'm gonna go and get council tax and everything. You are not. Then eventually, 10 years down the line, you are still in that cycle. Do you get it now?
Mm.
So we just need to say to ourselves, yeah, you can get it if you are tax employed, and of course, even if you are not paying tax, you need your returns and everything. Do you get it now? So and yeah, so whether you're a contractor, Uber driver, stylist, or consultant, as long as you have self-assessment and you have heavy income, do you get it now?
Mm.
Yeah, you can get a mortgage. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question. I know our time is going very fast. The next question is: are there any government schemes or incentives Nigerians in the UK can benefit from? Sorry, I'm using Nigerians just to put a bit of specifics to make it specific. Well, of course, it's for every diaspora and everyone that is not UK. Well, those who, let's say, ethnic origin are from outside the UK, and you come into a country like UK, are you able to make use of some government schemes or incentives that can benefit that people can benefit from?
Thank you so much. I like the fact that you elaborated on that one, so that, for instance, our Ghanaian friends would not. Yeah, we already have issues with their jollof rice issues, so
Ah,
we don't
don't start
provide
that
that
one.
one exactly. So yeah, so for diasporans, so there are a
Yes.
lot of government schemes and incentives anyway. So you have first home schemes that offer discounts for your first home. You have share ownership as well that you can also take as well. So and yeah, and as well. So because we also need to divide diasporans into two, right? Some people, let's say I'm British right now, but I still know my roots as well. Do you get it now? So
Mm.
even the fact that you are British, that's another thing as well. Even you seek classify yourself as diaspora, or you have higher indefinite leave to remain, or as well. Anyway, there are different schemes that you can use. Share ownership is for instance, that's another thing that we can discuss maybe later. Because with share ownership, you only need to kind of take mortgage on a percentage of that particular property. Let's say you are getting a property of let's say 500,000, and you can say I want to get 25% of that on mortgage. So what you're going to say is government will contribute 75% of that. You only contributed 25%, and
Mm.
that 25% you will then take mortgage on the 25%. Do you get it now?
Mm.
And which means that 25%, you only need to contribute 5% of that 25% of that. Do you get it now? So you can
Mm.
see it's going to be small at the end anyway. But it only means that government will have 75% equity should the property appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. One more minute. So, thank you to those who are actually here watching. Thank you for connecting with us while we are here. It's such a blessing to have you, and we are hoping that you will be able to make use of this information to do the needful, because we're not just saying this because we have all the time in the world. We're saying this because we want to impact lives. We want you to take the next step. Don't sit on this information. Share with someone else. Don't sit on it. Share with someone else, and also make sure that you're taking the right step in the right direction. So, the next question for you, Mr. Deji Emmanuel, is: what mistakes do you see people in our community make when it comes to property buying? I know you've mentioned a few about this. If you're just joining in, you can rewatch on this same link and you can share this same link. But just for the sake of those who were not here earlier, what are those common mistakes people make?
Yeah. One thing I can say is like sometimes we wait too long, right?
Mm.
We are waiting for the tides to settle in. And To be honest, no tide is settling at all. You have to jump into the tides anyway. So that is one thinking that, yeah, I need to figure it out first, right? I
Mm,
was told my situation whereby some of mine were looking there, do you get it? And that's one. And sometimes we don't seek for the right advice, right? So we don't seek for the right advice. And also, even not only that, there's some people that are also going around sharing bad information as well,
mm,
right? So yeah, in fact, it is so common now in the social media. People that are not qualified to give advice, they are now sharing information in the name of social media. Get the right advice, right?
yes.
So and yeah, and then start early as well. Even if you are looking to get your property in the next 2 years, get the information now. Get what you need to do, right? So that you are not close to the time you say you are ready and
Yeah.
you just find out, oh, you need to do this before now. So start early, gather the information, go to a financial advisor, tell them, okay, I have planned to get my property in the next 2 years. So, or 1 year, what do I need to do? Right. So they will tell you, okay, you need to do, you need that, you need that. Get the one that also has got your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
You get now, not the one that is about the money or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Two more questions. And second to the last says, can you share a recent success story of a diasporan in the UK who you helped buy a property? What is that success story? Would like to hear it.
Okay, all right. So I think I've got two examples that I would quickly share for the sake of time anyway. So one of them just got the offer approved anyway. We are waiting for that anyway. So it's already kind of done anyway. So and one that I want to share, this is a peculiar one anyway. So it's basically right. They've got issues with the credit check and everything. Yeah, like I said, that's where when you do this, you kind of know that, yeah, why didn't they seek advice before
Mm,
now? Do you get it now? So, but I have privileged to kind of help them to say, okay, you might not get the best rate, but because of the what you've done anyway. So yeah, but I'm actually going through with them as well to yeah, so it's already in that. But that other one is already done anyway. So yeah, this particular one, yeah, you know, when you are passionate about a situation and you just want to say, yeah, this person is good, they need to do that, but they've actually messed up their financial status to get it now. So and that's one thing, when I do offer the service, I'll offer it passionately. And of course, I think it shows in the way I speak as well. So I want to see a lot of people in our space to be able to say, yeah, I now have a property. Like I said, this we say about other races as well, that
mm.
yeah, this person already got pride because this person helped him, this person helped him. We need to also be like that as well, help
Yeah.
one another to be able to succeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got just one last question, but before then, let me read the comments here. Thank you very much to those who have joined, who are sending messages, who are commenting, who are giving their thoughts as well and asking questions. Mr. Ajaguna says, some people believe getting a mortgage is a scam. What is your thought on this? Of course, you're asking a teacher, what is your thought about the teaching profession? So go
Ah,
ahead.
I really don't know where that thought is coming, right? Because mortgage is a regulated industry,
Mm,
right? So, and it's not an industry that anyone can move into, right? And in fact, in the UK, there's one thing that UK government will not joke about is the property industry in the UK. Because if you look at the fact that when this economy will be down, you will feel it in the properties.
mm,
And if it's going up, you will feel it up. So it's something that the government is guiding jealously, right? So you cannot be a scam as a lender, and
mm,
you cannot be a scam as a financial advisor. You will lose your license. Do you get it now? So I really don't know where that is coming from. Of course, it could be because there might be some people, like I said, that are portraying themselves as a financial advisor, right? Or duping people, right, in the sake of the American. Do you get it now? So it's like
mm,
saying, like you mentioned about teacher, the fact that you have a lot of teachers does not mean everyone know what they are doing. Do you get it now? So
mm.
I won't, for me, I would say, for if you are called to become a mortgage broker and you are professional, right? It's not something that you just wake up and say, I want to become a mortgage broker. You have to get certified. And in fact, you have to do SIMA, you have to do some certification as well. So it's not something that you just wake up and say, "Nah, I'm a broker," right? If you have someone like that, then you might be scammed. Do you get it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Sure.
But of course, for me, of course, I'm certified as a SIMA, and I don't want to lose Lancet because it took me over 2 years to get to this point. So, and it's not something I want to joke with
Yeah.
anyway.
Yes. Thank you. So you heard that it's well regulated. So don't fall into bad hands. That's why we're giving this um, information to you so that you can choose rightly. This is someone you can vouch. I can vouch for. And please, whatever you have to do, make sure you've done your due diligence by finding out yourself, find out the background, find out who you're giving your money with, because anything with money, must take extra steps in this day and age, you know. And can someone, another question from Sonny Musa Opute says, can someone with bad credit, but have a deposit get a mortgage? I think that's a yes or no answer, but I never, let me see you're the professional here. Let me not say anything. What
Yes.
do you think? Can someone with a bad credit, but with a deposit get a mortgage?
Yeah, the answer is yes. You can get a mortgage. Of course, you might not get the best rate, right? That's the only thing. So there's some lenders that would give to someone that's got bad credit. In fact, if you got CCJ and if you got default, yeah, they will even ask how many years is default, how many years is CCJ, so that they will know the rate to do. For I've got a client like that now, and that I was talking about, right? That yeah, they said okay, they've defaulted. Do you get now? But the best thing is not to find yourself in that situation, right? But of course, if you find yourself in that situation, you can still get yourself out. Do you get it now? So, and also you can still get a mortgage as well in that, but you won't get the favorable rate. That's one thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for that. I was almost using my non-professional hat to say no, you can't, but you have just clarified it. Thank you very much. I would have said no if I had to say yes or no, but you are the professional here and you know what you're doing. So thank you very much. The final question is, if someone watching wants to buy a home but doesn't know where to start, what's the first step and how can they contact you?
Okay. All right. So one thing I say, I went through the steps in the, I'll just summarize quickly. Right.
Yeah.
So I would say the first thing is like get yourself an advisor, right? So even if you are thinking about many years down the line or 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, get advice quickly, right? Start early, right? Don't start looking for property when we don't know if the bank can give to you, right? Get agreement in principle at hand, right? With that, you are armed with the fact that confident the lender can give you yeah. So one thing, I'm also careful when I choose the word lender against bank, right?
Mhm.
Because it's not only banks that can lend you money, right? For instance, like myself now, I'm a financial advisor, and which means that I'm different from Barclays, right? If you go to Barclays to say I need a mortgage, the Barclays will give you mortgage within Barclays, right? And they will not give you mortgage for NatWest or Halifax. Do you get it now? So, but for someone like myself, right, would search into the market to see what's the best rate. And it might not be, it might also be that Barclays is not, maybe Halifax is it. Do you get now?
Mhm.
Or able to do. But the first thing is like you need to speak to someone like that anyway. So that is the first. Then after that, then once you get your agreement in principle, you start to look for property, right? Within that budget that they've given to you. Then after that, someone was talking about the scam. Anyway, I need to, because within the mortgage process, right,
Mhm.
there's solicitor underwriting in there. Because, for instance, the money that you are putting that as deposit is so insignificant compared to what the lender is putting down. You
Sure.
would think they will not do their due diligence. And if you said you are scammed, that means the lender is also scammed. So you are contributing maybe
To
5%.
this
They are contributing
scam population.
95%. So but that, I think with that, that the bank will do their due diligence. They will have
Yes.
a solicitor in place. They will have everything in place. So I think you should put your rest up. I don't know what happened. Do you get it now? But if it's done properly, right, in the remits of the law, which is it is right, I don't think you'll be scammed because the bank will be involved, right? You won't lose your money anyway. But that's one thing. So now, how do you contact me? I think you can speak to Dr. Abel. I'm on a channel, right? And she'll be able to share my contact with you, right? So I'm happy to help as many people as possible. And I can say I'm on a mission. I've done this in the IT space, helping people to get jobs. I want to be able to help as many people to kind of get their keys into their homes as well. So it's something that I'm passionate about. I'm also willing to help as many people as possible. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deji Emmanuel. I'm sure. Oh, you've been speaking for 1 hour straight. Thank you very much. I don't know how else we can thank you. Then for people here, those of you online, please just write something. Aha. Write thank you. Yes. Let's put all the thanks and let me put them on the screen. Mr. Sonny Musa Opute says thank you. Who else is saying thank you? Who else here is saying thank you? I'm sure people are grateful and thanking you for your time educating us, because like we say, people hoard information and we don't know why. Maybe they've done it before and it backfired, or somebody I really don't know why, but giving this information out is very golden. Thank you for your time. Thank
Thank you.
you.
No, thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you. And if you need, yes, Mr. Adeguwa, sorry, Jaguna says thanks, sir. Rebecca says thank you. So many people are saying thank you, and I'm sure from the bottom of their hearts they're saying thank you, because this is educative, very educative. You have to pay. You know how much you have to pay to go on a seminar to just get tips on what to do, and here we have it free. Thank you very much. So please, if you need that more information, ask me and I will send it to you. Mr. Adebayo Onafua says thanks so much. Thank you. And thank you very much, Mr. Dedeji. I'll let you go now so you can, um, go to your next thing, because
Thank you.
there's so many awards out there to win. Please go ahead.
Thank
Back
you.
to share with us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Abel. It's an honor, and you're doing very, very well, fantastic well. So it's an honor to be here as well. And yeah, so I'm just need to kind of share the information, talk to people anyway. So yeah, so it's an honor to be able to share my experience and knowledge on this platform. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Oluwaseun Adeyemi says thank you as well. Adefela Aurowofela says thanks, sir. Your next client. Okay. So I'll be sharing his number with you. Thank you very much. Have a good day. And while I allow our guests to and go get those awards, we'll continue to tell you. Thank you very much and have a good day, Mr. Dedeji. Yes. We'll tell you what we have next. So we have on our what's it called? On the channel, we've been having yesterday we had something for the Gen Zs. We've just had a mortgage chat. We're having next week, we're having women's health 101, what every woman needs to know. And this lady is super I don't know what word to qualify her, but people who attended the one I missed, they were like, you need to bring her back, you need to bring her, because she was saying some things. And for our population, you'll be surprised if I tell you that pounded yam and egusi is beneficial. How? Don't ask me, because I'm ready to hear next week as well. And we also have someone who's going to tell you about postgraduate visa, who graduated from a postgraduate visa to a UK founder in 12 weeks. He is there to hold your hands through it. You don't just need to go and start looking for. Of course, the not common thing is when people do the postgraduate and they don't find, they go into the COS. But you can actually go from that education you possess, that you pay so much money for, you can get a visa through the UK founder. He's going to hold your hands through it. So there's so many things we need to know that we might probably not know. But I would say, please stay tuned. I'll keep giving the announcement. Thank you to those who are here. We really appreciate your coming to encourage us. Please share. Please share. The only way we can get this information out to others is to share. Please share and let us spread the word. Whatever seed you sow is going to reap a harvest. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for joining us. Have a good day and bye-bye.
Have you subscribed and liked? Welcome to Dr. Bunmi Abel TV, where we inspire and inform you endlessly, with knowledge to guide, uplift, and grow. Thank you for joining, it's a journey, let's go. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. From wisdom to insight, each video's a gift, helping you rise, giving your spirit a lift. So hit that subscribe, stay tuned to see all the great things on Dr. Bunmi Abel TV. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game.